Hello Aries, and welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host TINLA, and this is your reading for the week of July the 30th, 2026. Thank you for joining me again. Let's take a look at what your general theme will be. We're using this deck called the Fantod pack by Gorey, and it's a little bit weird because it's a little bit weird of a week. Anyway, it says the child. I'm going to show that to you better. The child, and apparently the little weird dog on a skateboard. Maybe that means something to you. I don't know. But let's find out what it says in the book. The child. I appreciate you joining me, liking, subscribing, sharing, and here are our weird words for the week. September, denigration, sexual inadequacy, styes, hallucinations, breakage, loss of youth, rust, crawling sickness, whatever that may be, an obstacle, forced restraint, aberrations, and catarrh, and that's spelled C-A-T-A-R-R-H. I don't know what the hell that is, but there are the words for you. Our keywords for this weird week that we are in. Also, we just came out of Mercury retrograde. We're in the Saturn retrograde. All kinds of stuff is coming around karmically and so forth. So I'm just saying, Aries, as a cardinal sign, you're always doing the most. So anyway, let's find out what is going on. Spirit, tell me more about this child energy, this weird, wild, almost like youthful spirit. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. And oops, I have to cover this one. Give me 1 second because YouTube is a weird little beast. Okay. I always get like a Marilyn Monroe vibe from this one. Anywho. So this week, my dear Aries, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Fool. And the Queen of Pentacles is somebody, you're viewing as being very kind and nurturing and giving, and you're like, with this child energy, you're very much taking a chance with somebody, or you're interested in taking a chance with somebody, or you almost view this person maybe as that you are thinking about as like, I hate to say this because it sounds really creepy, but like a motherly figure to you. Like maybe they're filling in the blanks for a motherly figure that didn't show up the way you needed her to. That's awfully specific, I know, and please don't take offense, but it's just there's somebody that is coming in or is in your life as a divine feminine energy that is really showing you something different. I feel like with that little white flower there, there's like up in this region here, and kind of putting it's putting a smile on your face, which is weird because it's a skeleton and like they don't have muscles and all that. But like despite all that, it's almost like despite all the odds, this person's making you happy. And with the Fool, you're rejoicing and you're excited and you're ready to take a chance, right? And why I say this is a weird week and a weird deck, which I'm using, again, it's a weird deck to follow the weird week, is that the Fool is number 1 here. And normally in the tarot, the Fool is 0, so everything kind of gets thrown off a little bit by that numbering error. Again, I don't know what happened with the creator here, but anyway. So you're looking to take a chance this week. Tell me more, Spirit. Look, we got these. What's going on? 8 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. Okay, so you're leaving something behind to experience something new. An experience, a relationship, a person who is more in line with you with this 2 of Cups. And I'm getting there's like a mirroring energy here because, also I'm hearing like this is a horse of a different color, from I think that was the original Wizard of Oz, which honestly I'm not a huge fan of, but I feel like I needed to say that in case you are. Anywho, the point is the 2 of Cups, you got these like 2 horses here, and they're clearly both horses, right? But one is this white color and one is more of this black color, and so it's like you're the same but the opposite and different, if that makes sense. And you're both standing in this watery energy of love together. So you're bound to this person by love, and you're like just beginning to breach these feelings and acknowledge them. And I'm gonna come back, don't worry about this, I'm coming back. But you're beginning to breach these feelings and acknowledge them and really just want to see eye to eye with this person. And I'm getting like nuzzle up, love on this person that you see as your equal but also different. Like they fill in the blanks for you. And the 8 of Cups is, again, it's letting go energy. And with this specific card, again, I read things based on the cards in terms of how they appear in addition to the traditional meanings. I'm almost feeling, this is awfully specific, that this little paper here she's getting out of the water in this card is like that little one that we used to do like when we were kids, where it was like, we're gonna fold the paper and do this thing, and I was never good at that, but it was like blue, red, yellow, whatever, and it was like, you know, it was supposed to tell your future. So it's almost like you're pulling this out, you're trying so hard to understand what the future holds, and you're getting like mixed responses. You don't really know, like you go back and forth, and you're still standing in this puddle. Like there's still a lot of emotion that you've got attached to what is happening with my future, and trying to understand that, which is maybe why you're here. And but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, you're attached to it, and all that I just said, and almost like this woman almost looks like she's wearing a wedding dress, very you know, like your future, you saw your future with this person, or maybe they saw it with you, and they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. And actually, you know, the more I look at it, the more I feel like, honestly, Aries, there might be, okay, this is for a small subset of the beautiful people watching this who are liking, subscribing, and sharing and all that. But the person that you most recently were with, that you felt you had a connection with, this person is trying to understand why you ended things with them. They're digging around. They're trying to figure out, like, what did I do wrong? How did I not get with this Aries, right? They're really confused, and they're trying to move on. They're trying to get past it, but they're also trying to like get some closure. And I'm not saying you should or should not like talk to this person to get some closure. You take that based on your particular circumstances, but like that's what's going on in the background, is either one of two things. Either you, as my viewer, are yourself trying to understand why you have a hard time moving on from people, or a hard time moving forward, or a person you previously dated is trying to understand, like, why did you, Aries, leave them? What did they do, quote unquote, wrong, right? What wasn't good enough about them? And I'm not saying there wasn't anything good enough about them. There was something, it just was incompatible, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But this person is searching for a reason, so it might do you some good, if that's resonating with you, to perhaps have a civil conversation with this person and explain to them, like, it wasn't you, it wasn't me, it just wasn't meant to be. We learned everything we could from each other, that kind of thing. But you need to move on. Each of you needs to move on. And I don't know how much either one of you has really moved on from this, but you want to. You definitely want to, because you're craving this Two of Cups energy. You're craving this eye to eye. And I feel like you've gotten a little bit of it where you're kind of seeing it. And again, we have this reflection in the water. Like I said, it's very much this energy of a mirroring, right? This person is showing you like the parts of you that are like them, and vice versa. And where you need to maybe look at yourself here, and you're willing to stand by that even though it's unnerving, is what I'm feeling. Okay, so this card fell out, and I was just leaving it here upside down, you know, so we can't see it. And my question was going to be, what is going to be a challenge for you in the next week? And we have the Knight of Cups. So let's take a look at that. Handsome guy holding a beautiful flower on its own, and this flower in the water. And in the course of the readings I've done this week, I've interpreted this different ways. But for you, Aries, I feel very specifically that this rose on its own, standing up like that, is unusual, right? Roses are normally growing in bushes, right? There's more than one of them. It's not just like a singular rose that's growing. And so you almost feel out of place, like everybody around you might be having this blossoming, loving relationship with other people. Maybe your friends and family are getting married. Something's happening where you feel like you're the odd one out. And it's not that you don't want it, you do. And actually you want it so badly. You want the right one, I'm feeling, so badly, that you've let others go. You let others that were like so close to the right one, right? Air quote, right one. Why am I like yellow? It's weird. Anyway, you've let the other like people that you thought were the right one go. And I think you are okay with that decision. You're not questioning that decision. You're recognizing that decision, if that makes sense. It's a difference between recognizing, yes, I made some choices, versus I regret those choices. I don't think you regret the choices. But I think you're like very much looking for, okay, where is this like diamond in the rough? Where is this person that I'm not seeing, that is blossoming, that is ready and ripe to be picked, that is for me? I just get that strong sense of like, you want that love so badly for yourself, and you're seeing everyone else do it, but you can't seem to find that unique, like almost unicorn, right? So that's the challenge, is you're getting like frustrated and disheartened this week about like your love life. Tell me more, Spirit. Like what's something positive, perhaps? Give me an advantage that our Aries has this week. My Aries, my beautiful, strong, sturdy Ram Aries viewer. Okay, what is going on here? Look, you got an advantage. Your advantage is the Hermit. Okay, and this goes back to things being kind of weird. So the Hermit is normally the 9, okay, but here it's the 10. And I say that because, well, that is what it is. But the Hermit normally, again, in the traditional tarot, is a 9, which is in its Virgo energy, and it's going within, and it's really like focusing on yourself and trying to sort things out and get a better understanding of everything, right? Kind of going off on your own privately. Whereas the 10 in the traditional tarot is the Wheel of Fortune. It's a fated connection. It's things moving forward. It's the wheels of karma kind of going along, which is consistent with that Saturn in retrograde. Now, this reading may be applicable whenever you find it, not necessarily the last week of June of 2026, but whatever the case may be, you're kind of in conflict. Like, you want to keep thinking about this, but you understand also that the wheel of karma is going to keep turning. Like, things are going to keep moving. Big wheels keep on turning, Tina Turner. Okay, Proud Mary keep on burning. You're within, but you've been within for a very long time. I'm feeling like you've really focused and gone within, and you're almost at this point not just like regrouping, you know, because I think a lot of people would say when you come out of a relationship, you need to like do it like an autopsy, is the word I'm looking for, on that relationship, and assess like what went wrong, what did you do wrong, or could do better, or whatever. And you've done all of that, but now you're using that assessment as an excuse to stay hidden and to try to prevent things from moving forward. So in terms of the advantage, like the advantage is maybe this week you're starting to come out of that and see, like, no matter how much I hide or am like lying to myself and telling myself I'm just trying to get over things, I want to do things right, like, you're recognizing that the wheel of karma is going to keep moving forward, that life is moving forward with or without you. Not you too. I freaking hate that band. Ask me later. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but whatever. Anyway, with or without you, life is moving on. You can stay boxed up here, but the advantage is I think you're starting to see you're boxed up. You're starting to see that you're not in a good place, despite how much you feel like you've processed everything and you're really just like thinking things through and want to do the right thing. And, you know, you're giving all kinds of intellectual excuses for things. But that's not you, Aries. You're a mover, you're a shaker, you're a doer. So show me, what is the advised action for Aries, please? What is the advised action for Aries this week? Thank you. Disconnect. Yeah. Okay, give me one more, because I'm feeling that, but I gotta get one more. One more, please. Clarify the disconnect card. Thank you. 5 of Cups. Okay. So the disconnect card is unique to this deck. It's not specifically or normally like a major arcana card or anything like that. But what I'm getting is you're advised to stay off of, I'm getting like, you're getting bad advice from TikTok or other kind of social media. I hope not this, but anything's possible, right? Where you're turning over your decision-making process to those things. You're getting information like, if they wanted to, they would, or this is a red flag, and this is a beige flag, and this is a green flag. And I just feel like you're getting a lot of input from external sources, whether it's, again, internet specific, media specific, or it could be family members, friends, whatever. They're feeding this into you. And this is getting like, your advice is back off, like shut it down. Like, yes, it's there. It's not going to go away. There is some wisdom in that, but you need to really focus on your intuition and how you feel about things. And at some level, kind of shut this out. Like, yes, take what you've learned, take the things that make sense to you, but leave the rest, and also like trust and believe in yourself. And with the 5 of Cups, like if you look within, with your actions, like you're going to regret things. Like you are in a state of regret. Like you feel a little bit shattered inside, like this person that was your mirror, because we talked about that mirror energy right here. Like you feel like you let that person down. And your advice is to recognize, like, by breaking that person and breaking my connection with that person, I hurt myself too. You know, that person showed me things I didn't want to see, which is why maybe I broke that mirror, and I regret that now. But I needed to see it. And again, there's a little bit of a reflection here of her, right, as well, in this card. And what that's telling me is, even if you don't see your reflection anymore in this Two of Cups person you're thinking about, because you've like pushed it away so hard, you're getting that reflection in a warped or minor way through other people. So there's still things happening in your life, Aries, that's making you feel like, I need to make a change. You know, I need something different to happen. And so your actions, you know, the advice this week is to like recognize that you can shut this person out as much as you want, but you're going to keep moving forward whether you like it or not. And even if that means like in a slower pace or at a medium pace, as the case may be, you're seeing not just directly, but you're seeing like inadvertently through siblings, family members, in terms of parents or cousins or aunts, uncles, what have you, friends. You know, you're seeing these same things that this person could have shown you very clearly. You didn't want that. You didn't like that. But advice this week is, look, if you're not willing to see that, then at least understand you're going to still see that anyway through other people. So what is the outcome, Spirit, if things continue on this present trajectory? Thank you. The Empress. And I love this card for a number of reasons. First of all, it's number 4, which the Empress is normally number 3. The Emperor is number 4. So this kind of speaks to me, again, this is that weird deck where the numbers are all off. Kind of speaks to me of that combination of divine masculine, divine feminine, like the balance within you or between you and this person. And the dodo is telling me, I see that as a dodo. Maybe it's not a dodo, but I see it as a dodo. And it's telling me that this is a rare bird, like figuratively. It's this person is a rare bird. They're unique. They're different. You thought they were not in existence anymore. They were extinct. And this person, like, you know who they are and what they are. And you're recognizing that. And maybe by the end of this week, which is what I'm asking about, you're embracing that and recognizing, you know, this person is somebody special to me. And I think maybe you've been resisting that. And part of it has been the pain of what they're showing you. Like, you love them, but you hate them. You love them as a person, but you hate them in terms of what they show you about yourself. But now it's like you're embracing and apologizing in a sense to this person of like, we can be this divine couple. We can be this like balancing act for each other. We can help each other grow. And the outcome is like really embracing either that person in terms of them balancing you out and helping you get in touch with your emotions, or you're actually just balancing out within yourself and embracing that part of yourself that is more soft and patient. And, you know, I don't chase, I attract. And all of the things that the Empress is really amazing for. You know, the things that soften out and the hard edges of the Emperor. Give me just 1 or 2 more, please. Let me ask. At the end of this week, how is Aries feeling? How is Aries feeling at the end of this week? Thank you. We got the Ace of Cups in reverse. And a 6 of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, I see clearly what's going on here. Aries, like, you're not going to listen to me. You're not. Because I'm telling you all of this, and you're sitting here, and you're not overflowing with your cup of love. You're holding it back. You're restraining that love. You're still like, but what if? And also this person kind of irritates me because they show me the flaws in myself. Okay? You hate that. And there may even be, with the 6 of Wands, someone in your ear that doesn't have what's best for you in mind, telling you like, no, this is all great and perfect and you don't need to change and blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like good advice at the time. But the reality is, like I said, this person's your mirror. They're showing you some of those things about yourself that I'm feeling that the Emperor has no clothes, right? Maybe friends and family in your life have not wanted to point these things out to you, but this person's presence in your life is like triggering to you and causing you to grow and change and learn. And there's a bunch of people in your life that you feel like are your friends, and they are. I'm not dogging on them, but they're just like telling you what you want to hear. And you feel like that's a victory with a Six of Wands. Like you feel like, okay, cool, I'm right, I got this. I don't know why I was even worried about this. This person is not for me. They, whatever they're saying is not true. I'm a great person. And at the end of the week, and I'm not saying you're not a great person, I want to be clear. But at the end of the week, Eight of Pentacles, like you have all these opportunities for regrowth and rebirth and just these amazing new developments. Like this person is there and waiting for you in the water here. And they're ready and willing to give you that rebirth, but you're like dancing among it. You're like, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to like dip, between the flowers, almost like running between the raindrops is what I'm feeling. That's what you're doing. You're like, I see all this, but how about no? And instead, I'm going to do my own dance and work my own field and focus on my career. And listen, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with focusing on your career, but I feel like you're using it as an excuse to not face some of the things internally that you don't want to face. Chief among them that you actually love this person and this person is helping you grow. And you're like, you know what? I'm sorry to say this is so pessimistic, Aries, but like, you're like, I'm just going to ignore all that. I'm going to dance, do my dance, okay? To the left, and the right. But you're going to do your dance and all that. And you're going to be listening to these people who are just blowing smoke. That are just telling you what you want to hear, that don't have the balls, if you will, to tell you that there are some things about you that you need to work with and develop to become the best and highest version of yourself. And so rather than pouring out your cup of love for this person that is your mirror, you're rejecting that. And you're hearing what you want to hear, and you're going to continue on your work trajectory, which is sad. And you know what? Don't listen to me. Whatever. That's up to you. I'm just a vessel here for spirit. So I would love to say that you have the innocence of a child. And I do think you do internally. Like you have all these hopes and dreams and like just beautiful things. But somehow life has taken that out of you. And you don't want to see that anymore. So anyway, let me get from this deck. This is Postcards from the Liminal Space. Spirit, please show my Aries what they need to see. Give me some advice, please, so I can pass it along to the Aries. Again, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, etc., all the things. The enemy of intuition is self-doubt. Okay? So let's take a look at what that says. And by the way, it indicates here this is 33rd Street. Maybe that's important. Just take a look at the picture and see if there's something that sticks out to you in your mind. Okay? I'm reading for a collective, so who knows? Anyway, the enemy of intuition is self-doubt. What does it say here on the book? It's on page 7, which is the Chariot energy, Cancer, movement, emotion, so forth. A cyclical, silent war with self. The game is rigged and there are no winners. You could wait it out for a sense of certainty that may or may not come, or just go ahead and speak your truth, as nothing pins doubt into place like silence. Fear is a liar. Life is for the living, and you are invited. And I think that's a perfectly fitting end to this whole reading. Words. Thank you for joining me, Aries. I'll see you next week. This is not legal advice. Do with it what you will. Bye.